Good morning. Welcome to the Real Outdoors with Boudreaux on Bright House Networks. This morning, we're about 20 miles west of downtown Orlando at Johns Lake, located right off the Turnpike. It's about a 600-acre impoundment right over by the town of Claremont. We're going to be going bass fishing this morning. Our guide this morning is Captain Kevin Brisbell. Good morning.
How you doing?
Doing good. Kevin's been guiding out here a couple of years now.
Yes.
And there's more to Kevin's story than just guiding and bass fishing. Kevin's got a mission in life. Kevin's a survivor of cystic fibrosis, which is a lung disease.
It's a genetic lung disease,
Yeah.
fatal lung disease.
Fatal.
Yes.
And most people, you're 28.
I am 28.
And most people don't live as long as you
No,
have.
a lot of them don't make it out of their teens.
Yeah.
So I'm very lucky.
Right, and one of the things that you want to do is introduce kids and get fishing going, but you also want to use your skills in putting together a bass tournament circuit for raising money for cystic fibrosis, very similar to what the Redbone tournament has done on the saltwater trail with Gary Ellis and his wife Susan and Nicole.
Exactly. Florida's so unique. I mean, we can fish all year round, and there's no reason why we can't have another tournament trail, at least in Florida, and fish a couple weekends out of the year and do some good and raise some money for cystic fibrosis.
Right. And Johns Lake out here is, like I said, a little over 600 acres. And it's, according to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission, it's got one of the highest catch rates in the whole state.
Yes, this lake is pretty amazing. There's some good fish in this lake.
And that's what we're going to do, is see if we can get me on some fish.
Definitely.
We're going to, what's going to be our, what are we going to try to do today?
I think early in the morning we're going to start with some top water. I'll wait for the fish to kind of school up in about the next half hour. And we'll just see what they're going to hit. If they'll hit some rattle traps, if they'll hit top water, or maybe even a weightless Senko or a fluke. I mean, we'll just throw a bunch of stuff out and see what they hit.
Right.
And then later on when the sun comes up a little more, we'll start hitting some docks and fish some jigs and see if we can get some bigger fish off some docks.
Sounds good. I'm ready. I always like catching fish right here on the Real Outdoors. Hey, what we're doing right now is these fish are starting school on topwater and hitting shad net. So what I've put on is a Head and Zara puppy. I'm using the silver with black back, and if you look out here right now, you can see sort of the shad are starting to head on top. So I'm just using a small Zara puppy, some light line, throwing it out there and kind of walking the dog, bringing it back, and hopefully get some hits on this topwater bait, because there's not too many things more exciting than getting a good hit on topwater. So all I'm doing is just throwing out, starting to reel it back in. Walk the dog style. If you want to make the bait go back and forth like that. So all you're doing is twitching your rod while you're reeling, short twitches while you're reeling slow, and it makes the bait do this now. It's just a very effective technique for topwater fishing.
Well, it's about 7 o'clock and we're just sitting out here waiting for the fish to start getting active and starting the shad coming out on the top water. It's just pretty cool to see them just blow up and hit these shad. So right now I'm just throwing a weightless Senko out in the middle of the lake here. Just kind of dead sticking them, see if as it floats down nice and slow, kind of acts like a dead shiner. So see if we can get some strikes off of that. And hopefully in a couple minutes here, as the sun comes up, they'll start getting active and start hitting and start feeding. This is the weightless Senko. Pretty much all it is just a regular Senko. And I have a 3/0 hook, and there's no weight to it. So as it sinks down into the water, it just slowly floats down into the water. With some bigger fish, I've seen 11-pound fish caught out here, a lot of 6s, a lot of 7s. So there's definitely some good fish out there. Well, growing up, my dad took me out fishing all the time. And it's kind of always been a dream of mine to kind of be a guide. But at the time I was in Buffalo and it just wasn't going to work out. So, yeah, you can only fish 3 days out of the year. The rest of the time Lake Erie's frozen. But during that time when I was a paramedic, I had partners that loved to fish. And we would bring our rods in the ambulance and fish along Lake Erie and along some of the ponds in the western New York area. Then 4 years ago when we moved down to Florida, the first thing I did was start guiding for Walt Disney. And then about 2 years ago I decided, you know what, it's time to start doing this for myself and maybe help raise some money for cystic fibrosis. So went out, got my captain's license and started my business. So here I am now. Never thought 4 years ago I'd be doing guiding